afternoon. Welcome to Real Talk here on Shelbyville Now. I'm David Thomas. This is Bo Gill.
Hello.
It is July the 21st, and it is a hot July 21st.
It's hot. It's
and
hot.
This week
Humid.
we've got this heat and humidity going to stick with us. Some heat index numbers up into 110, 112 degrees. It's going to be rough.
Stay hydrated.
But today it has had a few clouds.
The clouds have helped out a
little bit,
but
but
it's still
the humidity is horrible.
Yeah.
And these darn gnats, Bo. Man, we were sitting here talking about it. Every time we sit down, there's gnats everywhere.
I thought they were following me, but
they're everywhere.
They are. I mean, I think they're. I'm gonna start.
The humidity has done something.
I'm gonna call them the humidity gnats.
All right, I got another name for them, but I'm not gonna call it out there. But anyway, we want to jump in and do some talk on some events that are taking place that have taken place over the last couple of days and today.
Yeah.
World events and events that have happened here in the United States. Stuff that affects us directly. Right. We're going to talk about that. We're just going to
nothing really
cut to the chase.
Local. I mean,
we don't have anything local,
but nothing local right now. Yeah.
But before we do that, we need to hear from Norris Plumbing.
We do need to.
Here.
24-hour service.
24-hour service, and they can handle it all your plumbing needs. We're going to take a break here from them, but we'll be right back.
Norris Plumbing, your go-to source for licensed and insured plumbing services. Emergency services when you need it. Norris Plumbing. Call us at 931-703-5915.
All righty, welcome back in here to Real Talk here on Shelbyville Now. And Bo, we've got some stuff we're going to run through here. I highlighted most of the things that I think people here in Bedford County need to be aware of what's going on. And of course, we've been on tariffs for the last 2.5, 3 months since it's Liberation Day came off, and I've been keeping. Of course, I have to deal with it every day. Just to give everybody an update, yesterday, President Trump came out and officially announced a 30% tariff increase on imports from Mexico and the European Union. We talked about that last week, but now we know for sure they're going to be effective August the 1st. That means our produce is going to be effective. It's going to be affected dramatically.
Yeah, I'd say mostly your produce. There are a lot of automobile parts that we've heard about, but some of those might get a little bit of relief. I don't know if they've talked about that, but anyways, in what Trump said was August the 1st, it's happening. So it's just going to, for those watching, be prepared for that. I mean,
tomatoes. We get like 80% or 85% of our tomatoes.
Yes.
And I know peppers,
most
avocados,
most warm climate,
and
vegetables.
some coffee even.
Yeah, that's right.
Now the Brazilian tariff is really going to wreak havoc on our coffee expense, and based on the amount of coffee shops Shelbyville and Bedford County has, we're going to have some people having culture shock when they go and pay $15 for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, may the strongest survive in that. I mean, that's
I don't think
you don't mess with people.
I don't think it'll get that high, but the cost of those coffee shops are going to go up dramatically with the cost of coffee beans. Yeah,
they don't just eat these tariffs; they pass them on.
Right. So this tariff is a tax on the American public.
Yes,
is what it is.
I'm hoping people are starting to understand that more.
Yeah.
Look, a lot of this news that we talk about here, just a quick aside, you won't hear this on CNN, or you may not hear it on Fox News, but we're telling you what's really happening.
Yeah, and that's the thing. This is really happening, and you might hear one network talk about it and 2 or 3 others not. That's because they don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, that's right.
They're they're one-sided.
It's one-sided. This is just
this is just real talk. This is right down the middle of what's happening.
That's right.
We also got a new trade deal with Indonesia today.
A lot of clothing from, I know.
We get some clothing, mainly clothing, cut and sew products.
Yep.
Silks. We are going to have $15 billion in U.S. energy purchases. We're going to be selling to them, and also 50 Boeing jets. Indonesia is going to revamp their airline situation, and there's not going to be a tariff on our products going into their country, but we're going to tariff every product coming into the United States 19%. So that means the American people get hosed one more time. 19% tariffs on all Indonesian goods.
And this is I'm sure the long-term strategy to build up more infrastructure, I guess, working infrastructure in America, but it's going to hurt.
Here's the problem. There's a reason that we don't have that manufacturing now. It's because of labor cost.
That's right.
And the cost of doing business in the United States versus getting it. These tariffs are not going to bring these jobs back because our costs are still would be higher.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just going to create an increase. Yeah. And it might make somebody think, well, I can do it. And then they'll get into the process of seeing what it takes to do business in the United States. And they'll just axe it and say, we're not going to do
all
it.
the regulations,
the cost of labor.
Yeah, the cost of labor or just finding labor.
I mean, if you're going to buy a shirt and you're going to pay somebody $25 an hour to make it versus $3 an hour,
right,
you're going to see real quick.
Right.
That type of stuff is labor intensive.
That's right.
That's the bulk of your cost is your labor. You ain't gonna pay no $150 for a shirt when you can get it for $30.
Yeah, and there's no working people around here going to work for $3 an hour. I mean,
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
That goes back to 1970.
Yeah, I mean, they can't legally.
No, it's against the law.
So I just don't see the end game here. I mean, I'm trying to see what our end game is.
Okay, we're gonna sell them some jets. So whoever's building jets, that's going to be a good deal for Boeing. Well, who is Boeing? All right, let's think about that. One of the largest corporations in America.
And knee deep in government.
They're not helping small business. None of this stuff is going to do anything but hurt small businesses across America. Who does it not hurt? The big box companies that can absorb some of this.
Yeah, and that's not what not what we want on a fundamental economic level as a conservative or as just
just common sense. Just common sense.
That's right.
All right. One other thing. Today, our Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, has ordered an indefinite suspension of air defense and weapon shipments to the Ukraine.
Wow.
Including Patriot interceptors and other munitions. And we just sold a bunch of this stuff to NATO, Bo.
It's like
what are we doing?
So we're selling them and then we're like, okay, no more selling.
All right. So did we look up one day and we just said, well, we don't have any of these anymore. We better just quit doing this. Is our policy policy with Ukraine and Russia changing every minute?
Yes, it appears that it is. And maybe they're using just words that we're not dealing with Ukraine, but we can still send them to NATO and they'll send them to Ukraine. I don't know.
But we don't even have them to ship now.
That's what I'm hearing. And we have to beef up what we have. I would like to believe that we've got more than what I'm hearing. But if we're giving them away and then we're saying, no, we're not going to give them away, that causes a lot of confusion. I mean, it's hard to understand that.
Yeah. General McGregor, I don't know if you've ever seen him on Judge Napolitano's show.
Yeah,
he's on every day, and they do a live stream. The other day, he was looking at the actual inventory, and if we were to get into a combat situation where we had to defend our country and we were attacked moderately, we would have 7 days of Patriot missile batteries supplies to get us through for 7 days.
And that's just not
that's not satisfactory.
No, and then especially when you're giving things away, I hope we get a lot more from the other countries that we give, but who knows how that'll play. But that's just causes confusion.
Yeah.
I wish we could get a little bit more clarity on that. Like it changes.
We need stability in that office.
Yes.
We need stability with Pete Hegseth. We need stability with our president, our vice president. And right now, Bo, the only person that I see, well, there's a couple people in the administration that I look at and say they're pretty solid right now. And it's the two outsiders that came in, Robert Kennedy and Tulsi Gabbard.
Yes, Robert Kennedy.
Those are the two that are pretty consistent. And Marco Rubio, I think, has been pretty consistent with what he's doing. He's not herky-jerky all over the place, but he has to take direction from the president. And it looks like Robert Kennedy and Tulsi Gabbard are a little bit more distant, and they're working more independently. And Tulsi Gabbard has come up with a deal where she's going to push for prosecution in the Russia hoax allegations.
How about that?
And they came up with all these documents, and she has called, and I'm going to read this, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard has called for the prosecution of former Obama administration officials, including Barack Obama, James Clapper, John Brennan, John Kerry, Susan Rice, and Andrew McCabe, accusing them of treasonous conspiracy in 2016 to affect and alter the results of the 2016 election.
The Russia collusion.
Yeah,
scandal.
the Russia hoax.
Russia.
All right. So here's my question. Okay, if they've got the evidence, she has basically thrown this over to the DOJ, Pam Bondi, and said, I'm recommending criminal prosecution. What's going to happen next?
Criminal prosecution of a former sitting president. and
For
his
treason.
cohort for treason. Look, that seems mighty strong. I mean, it seems a lot, but
if the evidence is there, what should we do, Bo?
well, I mean, we're a nation of laws. What do you think we should do? We should arrest them. We should put them on trial. But look, I'm seeing this as a lot of noise right now, and I hate to feel that way, but I do.
Here's the way I look at it though. Tulsi Gabbard is not going to throw this out there lightly, because she came up and she basically gave the intelligence on Iran on their two big locations for nuclear weapons, the two spots there, Fortive or whatever it was called, and then that other one that we bombed and leveled.
Yes.
They basically came out and said they're at 60%. We don't see an imminent threat. And this is the director of our national intelligence that she was getting from their sources. Right. Okay. It comes to find out she was more accurate than the rest of them.
Yes.
All right. So she's not a propagandist.
Let me tell you something. I think that whenever you saw all the stuff against Donald Trump and all that, they really went to, to court. They really tried to get that. And this was all really fake. They're finding some real laws.
Yes, they've got the receipts.
So I think that, will they go through? I don't know, but they should try and this is not just political. This is criminal activity that they've got proof of. They had no proof of this Russia stuff and all these things that they put Donald Trump through. Now, I know you don't want to get into political, this and that, but this is just blatantly breaking the law.
So here's my question: do the American people sit back and say, "No, we're not going to do that"?
I think
do we really think that these people are legitimate? And I'm not talking about just this side. I'm talking about both sides. Do you think anybody in Washington D.C. is corrupt? Bo, tell me, how many people are corrupt in Washington D.C.?
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, all of them. About all of them.
Pretty much.
About all of them. And even the ones that claim not to be, I'd say there's a little bit in there. But look,
I look at Thomas Massey, okay, and he stood up against some of the nonsense, and they run him out on a rail. Both sides have. If they running somebody on a rail like that, I'd say they're not corrupt.
Yeah.
I don't think he's corrupt.
If they're getting ran like that.
Tulsi Gabbard is going to be right on the same train. You watch.
Yep, she will. But I like this. This. If this is true, put it out there. Let us see it. Let us see what's going on. I don't know, but there's a lot of noise. There's because of the Epstein deal. There's a lot of diversion, people were saying, but there's also something that broke today. We didn't talk about it earlier. They threw out, they just released like thousands of Martin Luther King Jr. assassination records, apparently, just this afternoon.
Yeah.
And so I think honestly, that's another part.
That's another dangling carrot to make people happy that's fussing about the Epstein case.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But people aren't going to let the Epstein case go. But this right here, it sounds like, from what we see, she's serious about it. Look, I say go forward.
She recommended prosecution. All right. Now, for treasonous offenses, all right, do you know what the penalty for treason is in the United States?
Is it death?
Well, at one time it was, but it's life in prison.
Yeah, it should be. This is something that I'm sure they're all laughing about, but I hope that it's serious.
I bet Barack Obama ain't laughing.
Well, he's been awful quiet for years and years. We all know he's been behind the scenes of all this. It's no secret. But if they do have a smoking gun, so to speak, in this situation, then I want to see it, because she's serious about this. I don't see it happening, and they're going to have to work hard. And if they play their cards right, though, they can make it happen.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the Israeli attacks on the Palestinians. Yesterday, there was a supply truck came in again, and we talked about one of these about 2 weeks ago. It's happened again. The Israelis shot warning shots and killed 100 people.
The warning
again.
Shots. Yeah.
Again.
This is a murder. This is what is called murder. There's no other way to put this. Look, there's people there getting help or delivering goods to get help. These are people that are already in a bad situation and just want to live, and then the warning shots blow them away. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is not the first time, and let's not forget, this is coming from Israel, right?
Yeah. They're just like they're like sitting ducks when they go try to get food. Most of them are starving. They don't have water. They basically are in humanitarian crisis.
Yes.
And you got innocent children and women and men that have nothing to do with the war.
They're hungry.
They're in the crossfire.
And they're getting eliminated, and it's just it's a war crime as big as much as there can be. I don't know what the
I don't know.
Is.
I think they got to be at a point where they got to stop.
They have to. I mean, I don't see how we're going to keep on getting these reports and we do nothing, yet we respond to little things like these are people.
The way I see it, Bo, we ain't going to do anything. The United States is not going to do anything. We're going to sit back because Israel runs our country at this point.
Well, it sounds like it, but Israel, maybe there's somebody there that needs to take the reins.
While Benjamin Netanyahu is on trial for his corruption, they shoot all these people up.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
corruption to the fullest.
Yeah, it needs to be looked at. What's really going on here? What is really going on here? But it's sad.
It's not just as simple as being these Semite and anti-Semite. It's human against human, no matter what they are, and they're getting killed and they're wanting to eat just because they're hungry. Yeah. Look, it's that simple. There's no sides.
Oh, I know it.
It's the human side.
Exactly.
Death, life, and death. Right?
Yeah, they're up there trying to get water, and they're having to dodge mortar fire from a tank. Okay, I don't get it, but anyway,
I hate to hear it. I do.
One other thing, Russia launched 597 drones and 26 cruise missiles over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
They only killed 2 people, which that's amazing that much attack.
Yes,
but the big issue here is in the last week. You've got the Polish Air Force scrambling fighter jets to try to intercept what they think is these drones coming into their country. Now, Bo, this is getting a little bit dicey because if they were to shoot down a missile that was headed for somewhere in the Ukraine, the first thing Putin's going to say is they're hostile toward us,
right.
And they're going to start being sucked in. Right. And there's NATO. And that brings us in.
Yes, I mean, Europe, let's look at the situation, the lay of the land. It's all tight. You've got you've got a country at war who's having to go up across another country to shoot missiles and all this. Everybody's real tight, right? So there are borders that they have to respect. Poland is, looking at it pragmatically, protecting their citizens. They see a missile.
They're right on the western border.
They're right on the border. There. They see something that's not supposed to be in the air. They take it out. I could see where Russia could trigger a war. They could just be for the sake of just protecting their country. It could trigger a bigger war because I'm sure. And I mean, if Putin's shooting those missiles or those drones, they're not to be shot out of the air. He don't want them to be shot out of the air. I mean, and if somebody does
it's a hostile act if that was going to land in Ukraine the way Putin looks at it.
Yes, exactly.
Now Putin looks at it a lot different way than a common sense person would. Okay?
Exactly.
Because he's a dictator.
Yes,
right?
Yes, he
All
is.
Right, so, but having our policy just whip around and do a 180, where we're not selling them anything, and then you got NATO, that's rattling the sabers. They constantly do it. Let me ask you something, Bo. How much does NATO need the United States? And a better question is, how much do the United States need the rest of NATO?
Yeah, they don't. It sounds like
we're doing it all.
We're doing it all, and we're just kind of passing the buck through, and certain.
They're proxy for us.
Proxy.
We don't need a proxy.
No.
In that situation,
Not
because they're freelancing.
Yes.
Honestly, Germany wants to go to war. It sounds like Poland. They would trip that trigger in a heartbeat.
I know. It sounds like it sounds like another world war or a European war.
I mean, I think we're already in World War III, Bo. It's just a different kind of war than what you would look back at and say World War II was this. World War I.
Oh yeah.
Well, we are now in a war where there's missiles flying, but more than that, we're in a financial war.
Yes.
With all this tariff stuff going on, all this hacking going on, and then this last week on Friday, they signed this stablecoin bill in place. It's setting up for a CBDC.
Yes.
That's what Catherine Austin Fitts has warned us about, is that central bank digital currency where they control where the money goes and what you spend and what you can.
Buy and what
it's setting up for that.
Look, that is the total. I think that right there would cause chaos, mass chaos, and a mass pullback from most Americans.
Yeah, I hope to sit down with Catherine pretty soon and get her take on what that bill means.
Yes, it's been a while.
I know she on her website, Solari.com, I'm sure she's got some comments on it about what that means for us. But
she does.
Last year on July 1st, the FedNow program went into effect. That threw a red flag up for her. I'm quite sure that this does, because this stable coin is not tied to Bitcoin, but it's pairing the dollar with a digital currency, basically.
Right. It's a digital. There's no physical aspect to this.
And of all people, John Fetterman today with I can't remember the guy's name, a Republican from North Dakota proposed a bill to where if you're in business in the United States, you have to accept legal tender. They're trying to stop it. John Fetterman, of all people.
I love it. I mean, it shows you.
This is freedom.
It's freedom. It's not sides. It's not Democrat.
If I go to a Titans game this year, Bo, and I take cash, they don't want my cash.
No, they don't.
You have to use a card.
You can't park your car without having a card.
I'm done.
I've been done for the last few years. The last time I went to a Sounds game, and the same thing happened. I felt like helpless with a pocket full of cash.
All right. On a lighter note, let's talk about the cash. Well, it's not really a light note. Have you ever been to a restaurant to pick something up, Bo, that you took to go, and you use your debit card to pay with it instead of cash? Mm-hmm. And they flip the screen around, and you have the choice of paying a 22% tip, a 27% tip, or a 33% tip, or enter a tip, and then they guilt you into tipping for a pickup order.
Oh, yes, I've seen that. There's no tip option. Now Sonic does that. They have a little option where you put no tip, but no, they do. That's what that is it's a guilt.
Now Sonic, I feel like that they deserve a tip because they're bringing the stuff out there, but not a full tip like you're getting full service from them. Maybe like 10%.
If you want to give a little
12%, a little tip for, they work, bring their stuff out. I get that part. But at a pickup,
it's a guilt. It's definitely
a guilt. They guilt you. I was at a golf course last year. Mm-hmm. The last time I played golf. And I used my debit card to pay. They flipped it around, and they wanted to tip.
Yeah. Well, what I usually do in those situations, maybe it's not the right or wrong thing to do, is they say, is there a tip? And if there's somebody there, I'll say, did you want me to, is that supposed to have a tip on there? I'll kind of act dumb. Yeah. And they'll say, yeah. I'm like, well, there wasn't any service provided.
Exactly.
So
it's just like you're taking my money.
But they respect that because, I think, but they just want to hand out. That's
what
the tip jars are for.
There's one way to avoid it, Bo.
What's that?
Casharooski.
That's right. And
you know throw your cash, they don't flip that screen around.
No, they don't. But they do have a little jar. And if you feeling givey, you just give away, drop away.
Hey, if I go through Southern Cup, I'll throw those people a tip.
Yes,
okay,
but don't guilt me into
Sonic. But don't be flipping that screen around when I'm walking in, picked it up. How much you gonna pay me to drive up there and pick it up?
Exactly.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
And but there's one way to avoid it.
Cash.
Make cash great again.
Let's make it great again.
We start using cash, Bo. They don't turn that screen around in front of you. They get you to push the button.
And they got to give you change back and count it back. It's a whole humanitarian experience. We get to talk again.
Hey, Camera, the tip thing happened during COVID and never stopped. I don't tip on purpose sometimes just to see a reaction. Yeah, use cash and you don't have to be forced into it.
That's right.
I mean,
that's
and
what
then
I do.
About this? I'm going through a drive-through line, and they say, would you like to round up your ticket to the nearest dollar and it goes to the boys club or to the girls club?
I'm all about
what that. Hey, these companies are taking that money and they're acting like they're doing the donating and they're getting the write-off.
And they guilt you into that one,
They don't give me a receipt for that donation.
No, sir, they don't. And that's right. It just says round it up. They kind of guilt you into that too because they say it real loud so everybody can hear. Would you like to donate to the kids? And you say no. You might have been back there earlier and donated a little bit. It's like, I'm against the kids now, you know? I mean, I just wanted a pair of, socks or whatever I'm buying.
All right, let's get off that. We're going to end up on the light note, a little bit lighter note.
A little bit lighter.
So, now, Bo,
yes,
I've criticized President Trump.
Yes.
Okay, since the tariffs came out, and I'm banging my head against the wall against that.
Yes.
I'm against all this hodgepodge stuff on our foreign policy turning around every 15 minutes and all this nonsense. But I voted for Donald Trump, and I support what he does, except for some of the lame brain stuff.
Yes,
okay, all right.
I do too.
Okay, getting into this topic.
Okay.
He has basically come out and said, I'm going to shut this deal down with the Washington Commanders for their new stadium if they don't change their name back to the Washington Redskins. Mm-hmm. Come on, Donald.
Look, Donald, come on, man. I feel you. I don't like change either, and I still call them the Washington Redskins, and it's not out of disrespect to anybody.
Well, Bill Anderson on our show, he calls them the Command Skins. I like the Washington Redskins. That's what we grew up with.
And I know I'm not a Native American, but it seems like it's more of a respect type deal. People are caught up on the skin thing.
I know, but my point is,
No, he
The
shouldn't.
president of the United
No.
States ain't got nothing to do with this.
I think most of his voters.
It's rhetoric.
It's rhetoric. We agree with that sentiment because it goes back to
But him say he's going to block it. He ain't going to block squad. He can't block it.
It's another.
Like he can't fire Powell.
No, that's right.
Quit talking.
He just wants.
I know, but man, come on, man.
I'm with you on that.
Let's just do business.
Do
this
business.
is not.
You can stay out of that. Next he'll be at McDonald's saying, "No, they need to get rid of bring back the."
He's not a king.
No, he's
okay.
not.
They all these left wingers had this not a king march.
Yeah.
Look, I agree with. We don't have kings in the United States.
That's right.
We got presidents that we elect and we hire. We hire them to do a job. I hired Donald Trump with my vote to do a job. Right. And one of them is not dilly-dallying over into the sports, the NIL deal. The Congress, he signed that. I don't know.
Keep us safe.
Let's focus on the nuclear missiles and not breaking the country. Let's focus on those two things.
Yeah, I agree with you. That private sector needs to be in the private
Southern
sector.
border. He's got that fixed pretty much.
I like it.
He's done that.
And that's something that government should be interested in, and that is safety and security.
Secure our border. We do have a legitimate country. Now, what we do with it at this point, I'm worried. But we move on.
We have to keep going forward. We have to keep knowing the main things: freedom, our Constitution, and our freedom of religion. Our God.
Well, our constitutional rights. They all spell it out.
And it's right there. It's not that hard. If we can just stay
it's pretty
to
common
those.
sense. And if Donald Trump would just focus on keeping us safe, not breaking us, fight the trade war a little different. The tariffs are going to absolutely kill us.
Yes, they are.
And Jerome Powell, Trump hired Powell.
Right.
Okay, let's get this right.
Right.
So now he's wanting to fire him. Is he saying he screwed up?
Well,
I don't think so. I think Jerome Powell is giving an unbiased approach.
He is.
And they're basically saying we got to wait and see what the tariffs do. That's what my business plan is.
Yeah.
Wait and see what the tariffs do.
That's right. He has to. I mean, I think he's acting responsible.
Yeah. And I know everybody wants cheaper interest rates, but if the housing prices were lower, if that's what you're looking at, your mortgage, then those higher interest rates wouldn't hurt quite as bad. And we're going to talk about that on our next show, Bo. And we got to get out of here.
Yeah, we do. But it's if it don't, we do need to talk about that because I do have a feeling that we will get some relief from that.
Okay, Shell Rollins comes in. I'm late, so I'm curious if you've discussed the TVA situation yet. We have not talked about that, Bo, and it does hit home, and that's something we're going to talk about. But we're going to let this play out for 2 or 3 more days to see how this progresses. Yeah. I put an article up on Shelbyville now about the TVA situation.
This is the
potential breakup.
Oh, the potential breakup.
Well, I know there's TVA. Okay, I mean, that's going to cause. I talked to somebody that's close to this situation and knows what's going on, and our rates will probably go up 25 to 30%. Now, a lot of people look at it and say, "Well, we need to privatize our power source," but we've been spoiled in this area with the TVA. Rates and if they go away, the price of doing business, the price of your electricity bill is probably going to go up. We're going to wait and see how this evolves. Trump wanted them to fire the CEO, but they don't even have a quorum because he fired a lot of other people on the board. So
firing doesn't always correct the problem, but we will get on that. That is something.
We'll take a look at that. But that article goes in depth as what could happen.
Yeah, check that article out.
This gentleman I talked to, which I know he knows what he's talking about. He said, our rates are going to go up 25% or more.
On top
if TVA is broke apart. All right.
Stay tuned.
We'll be back. Thanks again for Norris
Plumbing. Yeah. Thanks for participation. Thanks for all you that watch.
Thanks for everybody watching.
If there's anything you want to talk about, like what she did, and we're not mentioning it, let us know.
Yeah.
We'll talk. This is real talk.
Yes. We'll see you soon.
See you.